guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm the old toy guy. If you've seen any of my previous videos, thank you for clicking this one. If you found this one today, I'm going to show you what I picked up at the Route 68 Vintage Toys. Route 68. I'm a country kid, so I say Route 68 Vintage Toys in Xenia, Ohio. Took a trip up there 6-8 weeks ago. Just found this toy store on our way up through Ohio. Found it, wanted to stop in. I love going to vintage toy stores because you never know what you're going to find. You kind of know what you're going to get when you go into a Target or a Walmart. You kind of know what you're looking for, what you may find. But a vintage toy store could be anything. They can have walls full of just stuff that you want, stuff that takes you back, stuff that the little items of gold. Some may have nothing. You never know what you're going to find, especially in a new one that you've never been to. And that was the case with this one. Went in there, and the thing to know about Route 68, if you've never been, I've been a few times now, and did not know this before I went. There is actually 2 stores. They're a couple stores apart. It's like right there in the main part of town. You got the old like town square type stores. They have 2 of them, and one is kind of like a I don't know, a flea market type thing where you have different vendors selling out of different cases. And that's the first one that we went into, and they had quite a few good things. Little bit for everybody. They had all kinds of different things. From I remember seeing some Mork and Mindy stuff, a lot of wrestling figures, old and new, Marvel, DC. You got Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, all that. And you got some horror stuff like Chucky. Let's see what else they had. Smurfs, California Raisins, all kinds of just little things, the big things, just everything in between. And then found out that they had another store just a couple stores down, so we went into that store to visit that, and that is just a toy store. It's their store, and it's a lot of stuff. It's not a big store, but they do have a lot to choose from, a lot to offer. And first time I went in there, I'm sure I looked over everything, but I missed probably quite a few things. That's just how much they had. So I'm going to show you some of the things that I bought. Well, I'm going to show you everything that I bought at Route 68. I went 3 different times, all within a few weeks of each other. Because the first time, like I said, I didn't know what we were going to find. Second time, I knew what was there, and I knew that I missed a couple of things, and I wanted to go back and find them. And then the third time, it was because I knew there was something else up there that I really wanted that I didn't get. And it was just stewing, so I had to go back and get it. But I'm going to go over these, show you what I picked up. That way I will have everything shown to you except the room. In the next video we'll do a room tour, so that way you can see what I'm looking at when I look around. You'll know what I'm seeing, and you'll know why I say I need to get this place. Revamp the room, redo it. But enough talking, so let's get started. Start with the littles. The first couple of things I got was a couple of thumb wrestlers. I got a Hogan and a Piper. Hogan looks really, really good. He's got a couple spots of paint missing off of his knee pads there. But his face, his mustache, his eyes, his headband, his hair, all that's not missing any paint. Boots, tights, paint's all there. It's a really good looking Hogan. It's got a couple spots missing, but that's to be expected. I mean, these things are almost 40 years old, so to see them in this good a shape is pretty good. I like that. Piper, same thing, looks pretty good. He's got some spots missing on his boots and his knee pads, his hair. I mean, he's not mint, but he's pretty good. I've already got one up on the shelf, but it'll be close to see which one's in better shape. But got those two Hogan, Piper, thumb wrestlers. Then I got a Piper Bendy. I already have a Piper Bendy. Probably got 3 or 4 of them by now. But you know, this one's in pretty good shape. He's let's see, most of the paint is there. I don't see too many paint spots missing. He's got a little spot here on the end of his boot, but pretty good shape. His shirt where it says Hot Rod's a little bit faded, but that's okay. He's good shape. Like I said, he's good enough to pick up to see if he's better than the one I already have. So he may be replacing that other one. I don't know. I have to get them out and compare them. And the last one, I got a Steamboat Bendy. I've got almost a complete set of Bendies. I did not have a Steamboat. And this is the first one that I've ever seen. So I had to pick him up. He's got a couple spots missing of paint on the boots, which is pretty common for a Steamboat. Spots of hair missing. Other than that, all the paint's there. Got a couple spots on his tights, but really good shape compared, you know, considering for how old he is. This is 1986. Yeah, 1986. So these things are what, 35, almost coming up on 40 years old. So considering he's got all of his fingers, all of that, he's pretty good. He's got some spots on his back, but those will clean right off. I'm not too worried about that. But I did not have him in my collection. I needed him, so I picked him up. So this, with him, picking him up, my Bendy's collection is almost complete. I think I need 4 now. Jake the Snake. Did they make a Jake the Snake Bendy? I can't remember. I can't remember if they made a Bendy of Jake the Snake or not, but if they did, I need Jake the Snake. I need Andre, Bobby Heenan, and a blue knee pad Hogan. So if I can find them, my Bendy's collection will be complete. I really like the Bendy's. I know a lot of people don't, but I do. You know, I lived that time. I was there. Bendy's, they just look like mini LJNs, and I love my LJNs, so I love the Bendy's too. But moving on, keeping with the wrestling theme, I found an LJN Wrestling Superstars collector's case. It's not in the best shape, but it's in decent shape. You know, this is another thing from the mid 80s, 85, 86. I'd say it's probably a medium wear. It's been played with, you can tell, but that's okay. It's actually only the second one that I've seen. The first one that I've seen was mint, but at the time I could not pick it up. It was an outrageous price, and I had to pass on it. This one was more realistic price. My LJN collection is almost complete, but I needed a collector's case. I've been looking for one, wanting to pick one up. Just couldn't find one. And they had one there on the shelf. So I almost passed on it just because we were starting our trip, and I didn't want to spend too much money, but my wife actually talked me into it. She said, hey, you've been looking for one for a while, it's in your hand, You know, even if you find one better down the road, you know, you can always sell this one or whatever you want to do. You know, but at least you'll have it in the collection. And yeah, so she talked me into picking this up, which I'm glad she did, because like I said, I've been wanting one, couldn't find it. And you can see that it's got a little bit of wear to it, but the shelves are there. It's not 100%. It's not mint, but it's good enough for me. So picked it up and it came home with me. So moving on to a different line. Picked up a Masters of the Universe metal lunchbox. This is 1983. I remember having these when I was a kid in elementary school. Everybody had a metal lunchbox. You know, it could have been a Cabbage Patch Kid or Barbie or He-Man or Dukes of Hazzard. I remember having a few different lunchboxes when I was a kid. I think I had a He-Man. Pretty sure I had a Dukes of Hazzard. I don't know what my other ones were, but I'm pretty sure I had them too. But I've been wanting some lunchboxes. I want to find a Dukes of Hazzard lunchbox too also, but I haven't seen one of them that I just had to pick up. This one it's in pretty good shape, you know, for the price that it was and the shape that it is. Yeah, I went ahead and picked it up. Now the thing about these lunchboxes, it's hard to find these things in mint condition anymore. You know, I remember when I was a kid, I wasn't easy on mine. Walking up the steps of the school bus and beating your lunchbox on the handle or the seats as you're walking down the aisle there to get to your seat on the bus. You throw it into your little cubby hole or whatever at school, and kids didn't take it easy on these things, so it's hard to find them in mint condition. But I mean, this one's got just a little bit of paint wear on the edges, you know, right up in here. But I'd say 95% of the paint on the fronts and the edges of this is pretty good. You know, you can see Hogan. I was going to say Hogan, He-Man and Skeletor, Beastman, and Castle. You got them going at it again there. You got He-Man, Grayskull. There they are. They're still fighting it out. You got Man-at-Arms with them. Here they're not fighting it out, but you got Zodak, Man-at-Arms, Battle Cat, and on the back, Skeletor, He-Man, Tila, and Stratos. So it was pretty cool to find this. I liked it, and the best part of it is it's got the thermos with it. And when I didn't remember from when I was a kid, but they have the little diagram on the inside to tell you how the thermos goes in there. Like we couldn't figure that out, you know. The kids of the 80s, man, we were pretty smart. We drank from the water hose. We rode our bikes till dark. We were tough. But they had to tell us how to put the thermos in a lunchbox. I know, but this thermos is pretty good. It's not all scuffed up. It's still got all the paint, all the characters on there. Just got a little bit up here on the Masters logo, but that's all right. Yeah, I just remember these thermoses when I was a little kid. You take them off, you got your cup right there with your little handle. And I always had red Kool-Aid. I think I always had red Kool-Aid. I always remember having red Kool-Aid. Yeah. Pretty clean. Very clean. Yeah, I remember going to lunch, popping my little straw open, drinking my Kool-Aid and eating my peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I never used this for a cup though. I like the idea, but I never used it for that. But my He-Man lunchbox, I love it. Next piece that was sitting on the shelf, and I never had any intentions of picking up a trash can, but got a Dukes of Hazzard trash can, and had the paint been bad on this, I probably wouldn't have picked it up, but the paint on this thing is, it's immaculate. Look at it, it's just, it's a good little piece. It's got all the characters, almost all of them. Don't have no Uncle Jesse or Cooter, but got Boss Hogg, Bo, Luke, Daisy, Roscoe. Got the General Lee. You gotta have the General Lee. Got the logo there. And over here shows the cars crashing. I don't know how you hit with the back ends like that. I can't figure that out, but you know, it's not important. You got the General Lee, the flag, the General Lee, the Roscoe and the cop car, and all the smoke. But it's a really clean trash can. I really don't think I'm going to use it as a trash can. It's just going to be on display. But yeah, I love Dukes of Hazzard, and this is a nice piece for that little section. So I had to pick that up. Why? I don't know. It's just my love for the Dukes. My first love as a 6-year-old kid, Daisy Duke, the General Lee. Even to this day, that's the only reason I watch the show. Daisy and the General. But yeah, so pick that up, and my last two pieces for Route 68 is the Macho King. I remember these when I was a kid. I didn't have any of these wrestling buddies, but made by Tonka. They come out in, I want to say probably the late 80s. Let's see what the tag says. My God, if I can read it. I don't know. I can't see a date on it, but I think they came out in the late 80s. There was, I think, 7 of them in the original line. You had Macho Man, Hogan, $1 Million Man, Ultimate Warrior, Big Boss Man, and the Legion of Doom. That was the original first line. I think that was, you know, they've made others since then, but that was the originals, the OG wrestling buddies. So this guy was on the wall. Anything Macho Man, I'm going to bring it home. He was there, he's clean. Just waiting for me to go get him. You can see the back. Got Macho King on the tights. Got his crown. Got the sunglasses. It's just, it's Macho Man. How can you not pick up Macho Man? So, found him there. He come home. Yeah. So, while I was there, I seen another piece, but I couldn't pick it up that day. I'd already spent too much money in my mind. But there was something there that I had my eye on. We made our trip. And it was a couple weeks later. It just kept eating away at me and eating away at me. I was like, I gotta go get that. I gotta go get it. So I did. Went all the way back up there. It's about a 3-hour drive. mainly for this one piece. But I had to go get Ted. Ted was up there on the shelf, and just like the Macho Man, he's clean. Very clean. He hasn't been restuffed. You know, this is all original stuffing. He's not. Sometimes you see these guys and they just look deflated, like half their stuffing is gone. Both of these guys, it's the original stuffing. There's no, and you can tell if you've had these before. You can tell the original stuffing from deflated and restuffed. These are original. They're clean. Ted's a little bit lumpy. That's alright. He's original. So Ted was up there on the shelf. I had to go pick him up. When I was a kid, I didn't have any of these wrestling buddies. I didn't need them. I was more into the figures. I was more into the LJNs, things like that. These, when I was a kid, I really didn't have an interest. They were just pillows to me. But now that I'm older, I see the cool factor of them. You know? So now if I see one that it's a good price, reasonable, you know, clean, I'm gonna pick it up. If it's the first wave, you know, the 7 that I mentioned, if it's one of them, I'm gonna pick them up. If it's not one of those, probably not interested. Because, you know, I know they made some WCW ones later on, DDP, Sting, NWO, Hogan. I don't even know all the ones that they made after that, but if it's the original line, I'm into it. If it's not, yeah. But, yeah. So now I got Macho Man, $1 Million Man just hanging out on the couch. But, like I said, stuffing is good. They're clean. They're just cool, so had to pick them up. Now they're here with the boys. So that was what I picked up at Route 68 Vintage Toys. If you're ever in the area, I would recommend stopping by and see what they've got. They had a lot of stuff. They had a lot of Star Wars, a lot of, you know, everything. It's definitely worth a trip to go see them, see what they got. I'll definitely be going back up there. Very good toy store, very good people, very nice, very helpful. I enjoyed my experience, and that's really, what more can you ask for in a toy store? You know, you got good selection, good people. So, yeah, like I said, I'll be back, but that's my pickup from there. And I think stay tuned for my next video. I will be taking you on a room tour, showing you what I've got, showing you this pile of stuff that I've been showing you, so you can see why I need to revamp, redecorate. I'm not going to think about it. Too much to think about. So, anyway, wrap this video up. Thank you for checking out this video. Please do me a big favor. Subscribe, like, share, comment. You know the deal. Stay tuned for my next one. Should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And hopefully you'll like it too.